Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. Most of the time I make a tuna casserole and I bake it, but today I have leftover turkey from Thanksgiving. So I'm going to use turkey in this one, and I have horseradish cheddar and regular cheddar cheese I'm going to use in it. I think I'm going to use dark olives, and because it's turkey and I've already experimented with turkey with other things, this will definitely have to have a carrot in it. And we're going to make a cream sauce. Now, a cream sauce is almost like a gravy, but we do it a little different. And I'll be showing you that. I'm actually waiting for my eggs to quit because I'm going to put eggs in it too. So let me get these going. But this is a quick dish that I usually make sometimes in the summer, or if I'm really rushed and coming in. It's just basically chopping a lot of vegetables up and making a cream sauce, and then I can sit there and run and get undressed out of my clothes that I went out in and get into my house clothes and come back here, and then it's ready. I usually serve a salad with it, but you don't have to serve a salad with it. You can use hot vegetables. You know, I've sometimes served with peas and carrots as a side dish, but it's a hurry-up dish that I make. And today I want to try it. I said, what did I want? And I looked in my freezer. And I said, well, I don't want this, and I don't feel like this, and I don't feel like stuffing a chicken. And I said, no, I am going to make this today. It's going to be a rainy day. So we'll just make something simple. Egg, do not go anywhere. I'm only going to be putting 2 eggs in this. And I'm going to talk to somebody, and I'm going to, you know, if other people think this. I grew up with a father as a hunter. My brothers hunted. All right? So they went hunting, they came back with game. If you only eat, let's see, veal, lamb, pork, beef, chicken, turkey, you're limited to like 5 meats. Well, and you know the color of each one when they're cooked. Now, I did goat meat, and somebody said something that was not nice about it. But you have to understand, most people don't eat goat meat. When you eat wild game, or you have hunters in the family, the meat is all different colors. It just depends upon what these animals eat as to what color their meat's going to be when you cook it. Now, most people will cook goat. They usually make it a curry, so you don't see the color of the meat. I put it in a tomato sauce, and it's very good, and you can't see the meat color. But because I made a whey gravy, it looked different. So to you, it looks weird. But to people who are accustomed to wild game and eating other kinds of meats that you normally don't eat, this is very normal for them. They would not be upset with it because they understand. So if you're very limited, when you have rabbit, you're going to be surprised when you have it. Not bunny rabbits, but jackrabbits. You know, wild turkey does not look like the turkey that you get in the store. You have all white meat. Wild turkeys have a lot of dark meat, and they have a lot more flavor. If you kill a young deer, you don't get the flavor, but you get one of those bucks. They're full of flavor, and they're a little tough, so you got to work at it because they're older. They've built their muscles up and all. But you have to understand, different animals eat different foods, different ages dictate how it's going to be. Remember that, even fish. So any animal, even I have had quail. Of course, my mother couldn't get all the pellets out, and we had to, as we ate, you know, get the pellets out. But just be aware of that. So if I serve something and it doesn't look like you're accustomed to, it's because you're very limited on the kind of meat you eat. But once you have more of a variety of different kinds of meats you eat, you will notice that it's not what you think it is. But that's because society has said that you only eat this. The hunters and stuff, they eat a whole lot of other kinds of foods. So that's why I sit there and say I'm game to try something, is because of that. So you have to understand that not everybody is limited in their meats because they were raised differently. So I hope that answers the question to the person that left not too nice of a comment that I deleted. Which is the beauty of that delete. You can go bing. I hope someday it comes down, you know, that we don't have to kill animals anymore. We can all live in harmony. But that day is not here yet. So we still eat meat and we still do things. Now, you can use whatever onion you're going to use, but I'm going to try a red onion in this. Last time I did it in a yellow onion and it went well. And so we're going to go in a different direction today. I know you didn't see the first time my son and I got in here because I didn't know what to have. And we were rummaging through the refrigerator and we just started playing around. And we came up with a very interesting dish one time. I said, oh my God, this is really good. So, you never know. Now, is this one breaking down because I don't want it in my meal. I think it's going to. Let's see. Yeah, I better take it off. Knowing me, knowing what it's going to do, I'd rather not have that tough one. What I'm doing is actually taking one ring of the onions off, because when you have the skin here and you have this next to it and you take the skin off, this one is starting to dry out to become skin, so it's tough. So if you've ever had a dish that somebody served you and you run across this and you can't seem to break it down, that's because it's changing. That's why I always take that extra layer off of my onions, to make sure that I don't have that problem. Now we're going to just be doing a lot of chopping here. Now, I'm preparing you for something that I'm going to be showing you. Sometimes people serve you meals and they're not overly fond of it, or it doesn't taste right. There is a way that you lay your fork and knife on the plate that tells them how you feel about the dish. Most people think, oh, they're just done eating. No, it's actually how you tell somebody without being vulgar at the table. The cook knows that you weren't happy with the meal, and you know. And it's a polite way of doing it. So you don't sit there and make faces and tell them how bad it was or something, you know. There's an easier way of doing it, and everybody who cooks will get the message. And I'm going to show you the different positions that you put your fork and knife on your plate, which tells them if you're done eating, if you like the dish, didn't taste good. There's many different ways. I think there's about 20 positions, maybe 10. I can't remember. I'll have to get it out again. That you can tell people what you think of their food when they prepare it. Oh, and by the way, I tried the jalapeno jelly. Let me tell you, when you put it on, I put it on the biscuits that I had made, the whey biscuits. And my son said, Mommy, those whey biscuits were fantastic. I love those. He almost ate every last one. When you bring it up to your mouth and getting ready to eat it, you smell the jalapeno, so you assume it's going to be hot. But when you put it in your mouth, you get an apple taste with a slight heat of the jalapeno. And it's very interesting, and it's really good. Surprise, surprise. So I hope you try it, because that was really, I didn't know how good it was going to be, or if I was going to throw the jars out and say, well, I messed this one up. Oh no, I did not mess this one up. I actually got that jelly to work, and it tastes very good. It's very unique. I mean, jalapeno, you think of Spanish food, but I was thinking, boy, if you do a steak and serve biscuits and put that there on the plate, have the jelly to go on the biscuits, that would really be nice. I'm going to put a half a bell pepper in here. I don't care if you use a red, green, or yellow. Just, you know, I'm going to use a half a bell pepper. I have green, so I'm going to use what I have. Oh, this one was splitting. Okay. Now they are just being chopped up right now. That's all they are. If I see how I'm chopping, I'll just turn it down and you can see. Okay. But that, I have to say, that jelly is really, really good. It just floored me. I don't think it'd be good with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but God, does it go good on biscuits. And I made it a really, really dark green. Look how dark I made it. I made it really, really dark. And if you hold it up to the light, you can see the little specks of the jalapeno. I've got to date those and clean them up. But I wanted to get this started because this has to go as a packed lunch. So I don't know how this one's going to turn out with turkey, but it should. I've experimented with turkey on a few dishes, and I definitely know that if I make a turkey salad, you have to put a carrot in it. And I've used dark and green olives in them. I like the dark ones. Or you can call them calamente if you wish. I get the ones in the cans that don't have seeds in them so I can stick it into this dish. You know, certain dishes. But if I'm serving them on the side, I'll get them with that. Let's see, do I want to? I'll take 2 of these. I'm going to put a little scallion in it. Now I think I'm going to add another one. I need the rubber band. It's winding down towards the end of the week, so I sort of run out of things. So you can see, this is a lot of just chopping that we do with this dish. You need a bit of celery. And most of the seasonings that I use is salt and pepper on this because there is going to be a lot of flavor in different directions. But sometimes I'll put some oregano in it. We are going to be chopping some fresh parsley as well. Now, I know some people don't like the strings of celery. I don't mind them, so I don't take them off. You don't have to worry about the leaves of the celery either. Just chop them up in there. We'll be making pasta to go with this because it's mixed up and it's going to be in a 9 by 13 baking dish. And how long do I bake it? At 350 until it's bubbly. But I'm going to be adding some cheese and wheat germ on top of it to give it a crust. Most people use breadcrumbs. I want to make it more nutritious, so I have a tint. Like I tell you, I'm always thinking in that direction. We make the cream sauce. We'll be adding some powdered milk to it as well to pick up the nutritional value. This is also a dish that you could make a day ahead of time if you wish. And you can sit there and stick it in the refrigerator, you know. I'm just showing you how much because I usually don't measure this at all. Like I said, this is a dish I just throw together. Let me get my peeler and I'll be right back. Now you're going to have to put a carrot in it if you're using turkey to make a turkey casserole because it's just flat. We learned the hard way. You still have to put some garlic in here too. And sometimes I put pepperoncinis in here. So yes, I do put peppers in here as well. You can bypass it if you want, but I usually like to put those in the cold one because I make a cold one. Except I don't use pasta, I use potato, so it's turkey and potato. But I think I'm running out of turkey. So the more vegetables you put into this dish, the rest of it being just a pasta dish. So you want to get your vegetables and stuff is a good way of doing it. I'm putting in about 3, 6, 9, 10, about 13 black olives. You can try it with green olives if you wish. I put black and green when I make the cold one. You don't want it real fine. Just chop them up some. Okay, we're going to add some garlic. And that's pretty much the vegetables. As you can see, I'm adding a lot of vegetables into this dish. Now let's chop this first. man. Just an easier way of peeling garlic sometimes. If you don't want to just sit there and go slowly at it, you just smash it, and then you can peel the peeling right off. Well, most of the time you can. So I froze a lot of my turkey up that was left over, and I use it during the winter. I've made a turkey pot pie, and I've made turkey soup. So there's a lot of different things you can do with it. But I won't have any for cold salads this summer. I've already gone through all that. Put this bowl aside. We're just going to be putting bowls aside with stuff until we're ready. There's one. How much turkey's here? I don't know. I just filled a little bag full of turkey, so this is going to be loaded with protein. And I've already torn it apart, as you can see, and it's still good. I'm going to put the egg with the turkey. I'll be back. Okay, you're going to need 2 cups of milk. Then you need half a cup of powdered milk. This is a very rich dish, believe you me. You're going to need some salt. This is my salt mixture, but you can use your salt. And as much pepper as you want. Now, I don't know if I'm going to add other seasonings till after I get this sauce going. If it's flat, I will start adding seasonings to it. I'm going to be a little heavy-handed with the pepper, but you put in what you think is right for you to make it. I better get a fork for this. Notice I'm getting everything ready ahead of time. Yeah. Don't worry, the kelp will break up in time. And the powdered milk will not leave lumps. That's why I'm doing it this way. You're going to need a saucepan. I have one here. I'm going to be putting a stick of butter in it. You're going to need a whole stick of butter. I cannot use my modified butter of this dish. Already did that and blew it. Let's see, what else am I missing? Cheese. Now, to give this somewhat of a bite this time. By the way, you can add pepperoncinis if you wish. I'm just not adding them right now to your vegetables that we chopped up, which is right here. I might change my mind. Right now, the answer is no, you need another bowl. This is just an easier way of just getting everything together. So when I start it, I'll have everything 1, 2, 3. Now let's see. So this will give it somewhat of a bite because it already has some heat to it. Most people don't like horseradish, but this is an interesting cheese to try. You just have to get over yourself and say, look, I'm going to try this, you know, and be open to different things. I'm actually putting 1, 2, 4, 7 slices of this in. So I should be getting some flavor from these. I notice most people go to the deli, always order the same thing. You gotta try new things in life. God, that's the beauty of life. I know, you saw me chop all those vegetables. How dare I use the same knife? Okay. And you know, doing that dulls the knife. Just thought I'd let you know. You can ask me how much cheese. I don't know. I just take a chunk and I just proceed to grade till I think I have enough. If I have too much, I just stop and pack it up. Making a mess, but of course, I have nothing better to do. The cheese, I can't tell you the ratio. It's how creamy you want your cheese sauce to be. If you want a light one, you put less cheese. If you want a mild one, maybe you don't like this cheese and you want to try a different one. That's how I always look at it. I mean, I have a macaroni and cheese recipe that calls for cayenne pepper in it. Somebody likes it spicy. It's a different way, you know, and they use 2 cheeses. So you, please, I don't need you to go in there. So you never know. Okay, I'll leave this cheese on the side, so if I need more, I can just help myself into it. Now we pretty much have everything that we need to start putting this dish together. All I have to do is get you over here and you can see. And then when I get this done, I'll be making pasta. I'm gonna have to buy some flowers soon. I'm just running out of flowers as well. Okay, let's see if I can get you over here so you can watch. All right, we're gonna turn this on and start melting this butter so we can make a roux. This will be last. See, once you learn the basics of cooking, you can go in different directions with food. You think about how it tastes and how you want it to mix up. This is what chefs go through. They go through schools learning their basic skills and stuff, and then they start experimenting, trying to make dishes and stuff. They learn the terminologies, they learn different cultures, they learn what pots are used for what pots, what things are used for what things, and it's a whole big thing. A lot of people don't think it is, but it is a lot that they have to learn. They have to learn how to hold their knives, they have to learn how to sharpen them. I can't sharpen that well. But anyway, like I said, they have to learn to set tables and stuff as well. But what's flooring me is that when Julia Child was teaching, a lot of the stuff was handmade. You had to make things that you wanted. But now, I don't see that. I see them doing other things, and I'm saying they're buying this stuff. This is not, and they dress it up. They should be making it and then doing it. I mean, Julia Child didn't grind her own flour. No, she didn't. But she didn't use instant mixes and stuff that were pre-made. You had to make it. That's how they learned. And they do it different today. Well, they're quick to hide what they're doing. They don't want you to see what they're doing, so they do it in a hurry so you can't, unless you're very good. And now they use the metric system, so European measurements, and if you can't translate them, you'd have to buy their cookbooks then. It's their way of hiding. If you want to keep up with them, that's it. So I just figured that we'll just do it and I'll show you so you can learn. We are going to saute these vegetables. We are not sweating them, which is a stupid terminology. Saute, I think, comes from the French, don't hold me, but it means to soften and sort of pre-cook these. So when you hear the word saute or you read it in a recipe, it means to sort of cook your vegetables slightly. If they use the words translucent with an onion, it's almost, you see how the onions are white? They're white. When it becomes translucent, you can, almost a creamy color, like you can almost see through them. That's what they mean, translucent. Sometimes they'll tell you to saute garlic. Do not burn it, brown it, because they just want the oils to seep out of it. So if you brown it, you've overcooked it. colorful this is. I know you could see it. Because I have you right here. Now you will need a half a cup when we're ready. A half a cup of flour. I am using whole wheat because I've already added the powdered milk. I've already got the eggs and the turkey, but I'm adding more protein and more nutrients into it. I'm going to be using my whole wheat flour, and I'm going to be adding, because I put a stick of butter, which is half a cup. I have to put that same amount of flour in. You can use white flour if you wish, but I want to keep mine more nutritious. So I will be adding 1/2 cup when it's time. Now, if you don't stir these vegetables around, you'll notice the bottom ones are getting sauteed, but the top aren't. So this is why you'll see them. Well, they usually take the pan and go flip, flip. But if I do that, we're going to have a mess all over. So I'm going to do it this way. Now remember, we're not cooking these vegetables all the way. Saute means only partially. I had heard that you can make your own luncheon meats. Well, I've got to get a cookbook and find one on how to do it. I've seen it. It's been coming across my Instagram, but they put stipulations. You have to subscribe to me, and you have to do. And I said, no, 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 no. If I can make my own luncheon meats, that would be really great, because I would eliminate more from it than what I'm already getting in the food department. The chemicals that I'm trying to get away from. This is like on a medium heat. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. We're just going to let this flour brown or get toasted. So they say toasted is because you're looking for the smell of the toast. You'll actually smell it because there's butter in here. When you put butter on toast, you know that smell. That's exactly what you should be getting here. It'll be milder though because you have vegetables. See, because the eggs and turkey are already cooked, you don't have to put them in here to saute or anything else. Stir this because the powdered milk will sink to the bottom. And so will the pepper. So put your cheese in. I don't know how this horseradish is going to go, but we're going to try it. might have to add more milk to this because I've got a lot in here, but we'll see. Make sure it does not burn. That's what you're really working for. And now what we have to do is melt all of this cheese. And believe you me, it will burn if you're not careful. So as you can see, this roux is a little different. Though we started with the basics of the fat and the flour. Instead of using other things, we used vegetables in it, and we made a cream sauce. One of my favorite dishes, I mean, without a doubt, is chipped beef over biscuits. All what it has in is a couple boiled eggs, the chipped beef. It makes a cream sauce. Salt and pepper, go a little heavy on the pepper. Oh, put it over biscuits. I am in heaven. You see how fast this cheese is melting? We're gonna need more milk. See how thick it is? I'm gonna have to add a little more milk to this. Because I added a lot to this. See, this is going to go with a whole pound of pasta. So you can imagine this dish. It is really thick. So when your family eats this dish, you make it with chicken, or if you want to make it with tuna. It's a very rich meal, a very easy meal to make. I told you, I don't know how this is going to taste. I've not made it turkey this way in a cream sauce. Now if it's flat, I might use thyme and sage in it like you would if you were making giblet gravy. Because the only thing I've added is salt and pepper so far. Let me get a spoon. That's the one thing about turkey, is it is so bland, you know, after you cook it and stuff. And do I have any turkey stock? No, I do not. Okay, here we go. It is a bit bland. A bit, let's say a lot. Let's see, I turned it down on low so I can get my seasonings out. I think the turkey's going to take away from it. I rinse my spoon to do it again. Not mint. I guess M in the S department. sage? Caroline, QRS. I have to pause you a minute. I lost my sage. Okay, the turkey's a bit dry. I found some sage powdered and I'm going to use it. Put thyme in this first. So because turkey's a bit bland, I'm gonna use the very seasonings that you use to season up a turkey. That's what we're working on right now. That's right, they didn't have sage when I was looking for sage in the store. I'm telling you, I can't find anything. It took 3 years just to get raw wheat germ back into the store after COVID. Yeah, add some thyme and sage to it. Bring the flavor back up to it. Then we'll get to the pasta. The horseradish you can't even taste. I thought it would come through, you know, to give more flavor. But it seems it's not. Okay. That's done. Now we have to make the pasta. Okay, I got my pasta machine out. I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of flour, whole wheat flour, and then I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. 3 cups of flour seems to make a pound of pasta. I'll be back. I have to get more flour. Okay, I got it. Now, the pasta machine that I got was Emerald Lagaza. That's the one I got. So you want to know which one I'm using. Now you're going to need a teaspoon of salt. That's why I don't, since I have salt in my pasta, there's no reason why I don't have to add pasta into my stock when I get that up and running on the water that it's cooking in because I already have salt in it. Now, we're done. You can close this up. And I put this design on, hoping it works. Where did I put that fork? I need it. Oh, God. There it is. Now you're going to have to crack 2 eggs. I save the egg shells, grind them up after I dry them, clean them and dry them, and put them out in the garden. With Epsom salt. I went and bought a big bag of Epsom salts. these have to be beaten because you've got two tiny holes here and you have to get through it. And if you don't beat them well, they won't mix well in the flour. Now I have to get up to 2 cups, which is right here. So the difference here, I'm adding water. Mix it up some. All right, you're going to have a plate here to catch your pasta. Listen, you can make any design you want. And you make, as they say, you can make it as long as you want, short as you want, or anything else. You're going to need a pot to cook the pasta in. Now, where did I put that other one that I just did? There it is. You stay there. I'm gonna get here. No, I did not can mine. I didn't have enough to can, so I just put it in here. I'm gonna add some stock with water. This is my whey that I made a couple days ago because I made cottage cheese. Oh, I put about 3 cups in. So now we're just going to add water to this, cold water, and then we'll put this on and get that started all at the same time. The whole time I spend making pasta and cooking, it's maybe 30 minutes. I have so much fun trying new things and what I can do, and if you follow me, you'll see my mistakes as well as my triumphs on some things. Like I made caramel topping. I had never done that in my life. But when they said a propane, I said, oh no, that ain't going in. I said, it ain't going in my kitchen. Okay, so let's get this started. Now for this one, they say you press. In case you plan to get this one, I might as well show you how it works. This one, you have an on and off button. They say press it on after you plug it in and press the batch twice. And then you slowly add the egg and water mixture. They tell you the first part of it, the first little bit, they recommend that you cut it off and trash it. Now this is going to be running for a bit to mix this thoroughly, and this will be heating up. We've already made the cream sauce with the vegetables. But if you want, you can use green olives instead of black. If you don't want any olives, you can leave it out. If you wanted to use different colored bell peppers, you can use different colored bell peppers. If you don't like the cheese, you can change the cheese to your taste. If you want it hotter, you can add pepperoncinis to it chopped up. There's just so many varieties when I make a tuna casserole, or I make a chicken casserole, or a turkey. The turkey is harder because the turkey doesn't have much flavor. If it was a wild turkey, man, they are loaded with flavor, and that dark meat is so moist. It really is. It's really good. But because these are bred like this, you find that the meat is drier. If you don't eat it right away, and it comes to the point where you just don't want it. So this is why I stuck it in the freezer and packets, preserve it the best that I could. And yet it was still slightly dry, so I have to add thyme and sage, because I know those two seasonings with salt and pepper go excellent with turkey. So that's why I did it that way. But there's many different, if you want more garlic, or you can take out less garlic, but what it is vegetables with the meat, and you make a cream sauce. And you put it together, and you add cheese to it. Now, some people would like to put this over biscuits, that's fine. I want to mix mine with pasta and bacon. Now, if you don't want to put it in the cream sauce, you can boil some potatoes and dice up the meat and the vegetables, and use mayonnaise and make it a potato turkey salad for summer. Or you could use macaroni and make it a cold salad. Or if you want just to make it a salad like that and make a sandwich with it, you can do that. So there's a lot of things you can do with just the basics of this. You know, if you want a cream sauce, fine. If you want it with no cream sauce and you want to put mayonnaise with it with potatoes, you can do that. Or if you don't want potatoes, you want to do it with pasta and the mayonnaise. But just go in many different directions. But it's not warm enough for the cold dishes quite yet. So let me get this. This is going to be running for a bit. When it starts, I'll show you and we'll get it going. Here it starts. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. I think I'm going to have them about this long. Okay. Now this piece that I used here makes pasta like this. Twist it. Okay. Now I'm going to turn this up because it started boiling. Remember, homemade pasta, I keep telling you, it does cook much faster than regular pasta. And I have a mess, so I'm going to have to put it over there. Now, if you want elbow or something, my machine does not make that, so I can't do that unless I buy it in the store. Because this machine does not make that. I'm just going to bring this to a boil, and then we'll be putting everything together when it cooks, really. Let me get my Crisco. Some recipes call for shortening, especially the old ones. The old recipes, when they say shortening, it can be lard, it can be vegetable shortening, or butter or margarine. So you have like a multiple choice, whichever one you want to use. But when you get to the really old ones, that's something else. But I know a lot of the recipes in some cookbooks in the 50s sat there when they said shortening, you had a multiple choice to choose from, whatever was convenient for making cakes. If you couldn't afford butter, you could use lard or vegetable shortening, whatever they could find to do it, to make it work. So those cookbooks were written actually for people of different classes that you could have a variety of. Now the reason I grease is not because I like doing it, it's because the pots are easier to clean. Things don't stick as much, which makes it easier on everybody. So a lot of people can make the same recipe. If they use butter, it'll have a different flavor. If you use vegetable shortening, it'll have a different flavor. If you use margarine, it's going to have a different flavor. Though all the people could sit there and use the same recipe, but it's just what they put in it, which will change the flavor and the value of it. Started making cakes and wanted to make them nutritious, I sat there and I added wheat germ. Tasted like bread. That's why I use brewer's yeast, because it doesn't taste like bread. So I made my mistakes. Like I said, I have gone through the gamut of experimenting in the kitchen to get things going, and that's what people have to remember. Oh God. This is heavy. This is the cream sauce with all the vegetables we put in it. If you think I'm making another dish, I'm not. Same dish, just working on it. Set your oven to 350. I'm coming. Now I answer to the oven. You don't have to cook this all the way. Because it's also going to be bacon, so remember it's going to be cooking in there too, so just get a dente. And that means just at the point, not where it's soggy, but just at the point where it's done. So when you have a dente, that's exactly what it means. You've got to catch that pasta right when it's done. A lot of people will overcook pasta because they don't know they dente, but that's practice, believe it or not. You have to practice at it. I wonder if I can make these long and curly, just sort of line. I want to try that next time. I'm still learning how to work my pasta machine. But I want to learn how to make luncheon meat, my own luncheon meat. I have grinders and stuff, but I just don't know how it's done yet. But if there's a cookbook out there, I would love it. cookbooks of today say buy this, buy that. And I want to sit there and say, hello, there's women out here that want to make it themselves. Could you imagine how much fun it would be to actually make your own lunch and meats and the combinations that you could make? Now you're going to stir all this together. No taffy. I'm sorry. If you like it or not, you're going to get over it. Now you can put Parmigiano cheese on this and wheat germ, or you could use bread, just breadcrumbs if you want. Or if you don't want to put breadcrumbs, I just tell you and letting you know that this dish is very, very versatile. Be it tuna or chicken or turkey. I mean, you can just go in any direction you really want. A lot of people don't know that, but you really can. So out of this dish, if you just use different meats and different vegetables, you can come up with like 10 different meals. Probably even more. This is wheat germ, like I told you. Making this very nutritious. This is the first time I'm actually making a turkey one. I usually use other things, but this time I said let's wing it a different way. I usually use the turkey with potato salad and macaroni, but I've never made it hot, so this is the first time I'm doing it like this. But the one thing we learned is turkey has a carrot in it. It just doesn't taste right unless you have a carrot. Romano or Parmigiano cheese, whichever one you want to put on. This is Parmigiano, I think. I think this is Parmigiano I'm putting on. Now I'm going to put it in the oven until boiling. You'll see it boiling and then you'll know it's hot and ready. Let it sit about 10 minutes before you serve it to let everything settle. And we'll see how it comes out. If it comes out. Like I tell you, since I'm experimenting, if it doesn't go well with this, so I know it's good cold and with potato and macaroni salad. I have never tried it hot. If it doesn't work, I'll be eating hamburgers. Okay, when that gets up to, tastes pretty good. When that gets up to 350, I'm going to bake it just till boiling. Okay? See you then. Okay, it's done. I'm going to have to tilt you down because this is really hot and I don't want to get burnt. Of course, I get burnt all the time anyway. But here it is. This is a turkey casserole. All you need is a salad with it, or if you wish, some cooked vegetables. Very simple meal to make. But if you're making your pasta, it's going to take a little longer. But if you buy pasta, you'll move faster. Anyway, take care and have a great day.